So tonight's original now with in-depth reporting on a topic we've been watching. We are learning more tonight about how some lawmakers are hoping to protect people looking to get abortions by trying to cut back on the data that tech companies can keep. So that, like, if somebody's looking for a clinic on a Maps app or searching for providers on a search engine, all of that info would be protected under this new bill. With abortion access advocates hoping to avoid possible prosecutions for patients in this post-Roe era. Of course, the new twist here that adds another layer to it all, that ruling we told you about earlier in the show from a Texas judge that could cut off access to the abortion pill. Vitali has our story.
Data privacy is becoming the newest front line of the digital abortion battle. And today, we're doing an experiment.
We're going to plug in just clinics?
Yeah, so we're going to actually route to the Planned Parenthood clinic in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
We're just searching for this clinic on our Google Maps application on our iPhone, and then we're just going to route there, in the directions. We're just going to start our journey.
The journey, 15 minutes through D.C., isn't really our destination, though.
So we made it.
Yeah, we made it. We're here. So now we're going to go in and see what data was actually collected on our trip.
As expected, search data in Google Maps was retained and is for months. But Google previously promised that location history, which tracks actual travel from point A to point B when activated by a user, should be erased quickly. In our case, the data was still there days later, possibly because we only stayed for a few minutes. But these results would have big implications in states with new restrictions for both people seeking abortion care and the people helping them get one, even if it's just an Uber ride to the clinic. It's why fears are growing around the risk of digital footprints, from maps to fertility trackers to even social media messages being used to prosecute people seeking abortions in the post-Roe era. Privacy and abortion advocates now sounding the alarm to get ahead of possible prosecutions, which is where our experiment, done on 3 different phones, comes in.
Earlier today, we searched directions to Planned Parenthood, and you can see
And that was right when we
data,
left, 1:30.
We know that this data gets stored by default for 18 months on this phone.
Once it's stored, concerns it could be subpoenaed.
So I guess in theory, like, they can't prove that you were there by that, but they can prove that you tried to go.
Exactly.
Google told NBC privacy is a top priority, adding that the company has a track record of challenging overly broad or inappropriate law enforcement demands. Users can delete stored data themselves, too. Still, these possible scenarios prompting some, like California Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs, to try to set national standards.
None of the privacy laws that we have in place right now are fit for this post-Roe moment.
Her bill would set a federal standard minimizing the amount and kind of data tech companies are allowed to keep.
So it's a digital breadcrumb that then they could subpoena and say, look, there was an Uber, you went to this location area.
Exactly. And they can subpoena your medical records.
Your digital footprint is also in play online. Important now as access to the so-called abortion pill is in flux, too.
Let's say you're a person and you are worried about access being revoked, so you order a bunch of mifepristone off one of these medication abortion websites.
Preemptively.
Preemptively, yes. And then later you decide to get pregnant and you have a miscarriage. Well, all they might need to be able to prosecute you under abortion laws is the fact that you at one time purchased this medication.
In the meantime, Accountable Tech, where Aditi works, says this isn't just about reproductive access.
Google is collecting data about us, like the location history data that we're talking about, the search query data, is really just the tip of the iceberg. Really, they're collecting data about all aspects of our lives.
Hallie, it's unlikely that these kinds of bills are going to go anywhere, but it's not stopping Democrats from putting them on the floor and letting them fail, especially in the House, which is controlled by Republicans. Nevertheless, we're going to continue watching them do this both on the tech and privacy front, as well as trying to shore up other avenues of reproductive health, in large part because even if those bills don't go anywhere, they're able to take them back on the campaign trail and try to use it as yet another way to push towards what some people are calling Roe-vember. We watched the role that it was able to play in 2022. Democrats and advocates hoping to continue that charge over the course of the next year and a half until 2024. But yeah, this is one of those lenses that we're starting to look at this story through. Multiple front lines forming in the post-Roe battlefield. This is just one of them.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.